If you like mould and fungus in ears and ear soup, you've come to the right place, because we've got all of that for you in today's video. It's Nurse Richard the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. You might have just seen the video I had to cut away because there was a real severe shake, and you're probably wondering what that is now. As soon as this lady saw this on the screen, she went which will explain why I had to leave a couple of little bits, because there you go, she just did it again. Maybe it was the thought of it or the sight of it, I'm not entirely sure. I know she does really enjoy watching these videos. Hello to you if you are watching. Now this, you can see it's jet black, a lot of this stuff, and that's not oxidized earwax. You might be mistaken for thinking that, because as obviously earwax gets older, it gets darker, it turns black, but this is not the reason why this is black. Those are spores, or what I believe are fungal spores. It seems quite obvious to me because it's very wet, slimy, and soggy, and just generally a bit minging. But this happens, to be honest. You know, it's more often than not when you get a fungal infection known as otomycosis, if you speak a bit posher. Get this peeling away, very nice. It can happen. The more common one that you see is the one that you see that looks like cotton wool fibres, gets a bit furry. That's more common than this one that looks like black mould. Essentially, it's the same kind of mould that you'll get on your food. I hope that's not put you off, but if you do see any black mould on anything like your bread, please don't just cut that little bit off, because it'll be everywhere. So just get rid of it. You'll see there is a tiny little black spot on there. By taking away what we're taking away, it's not going to cure the fungal infection. It's the drops that she needs for that. Some clotrimazole drops or anything from the azole family. Caniston eardrops is probably the most common one around here, which she's going to be prescribed. So going down with a fine end tube to get a tiny little spot in the very centre of the eardrum when someone's got the shivers like this, not a good idea. Really no benefit to it at all. And it's impossible to remove every little fungal spore, because even if you can't see it, it'll still be there. So the most important thing is to remove the biggest blockage, which we certainly did, and then to get the treatment in. Give the drop and the treatment the best chance to work. I think I slowed these down as well, so you can just see all these black, horrible fungal spores wrapped up in that dead skin, which has been feeding off as well. I did get a shot of the edge on that one, very similar to the other one, to be honest. But hopefully, I mean, the cause of that, this second ear, this is the ear soup one. It's really mushy. Anyone who likes a bit of slurping, you're in for a treat with this one. As for what causes it, fungal infections in ears, we normally have bacteria, fungus in our ears anyway all the time, so the ear is naturally acidic, which helps to prevent it from colonising, which means basically taking over. But if you give it the right environment to survive in, then it's going to take over even more. And the ear is naturally quite, for most people anyway, it's quite moist, damp, dark, and that's kind of where you find fungus a lot of the time. But what made it most likely with this lady, she's a common swimmer, and she swims at least 4 times a week. So obviously all the water getting in the ears, that's going to be rinsing away the ears' natural protection to defend itself against this, and a fungus loves a bit of moisture. It really does. But hopefully, it can be quite stubborn to get rid of. But hopefully, after a treatment of drops, it should hopefully get rid of it. But like I said, it can be quite stubborn. So what I suggest in those cases is a week's worth or so of the antifungal drops, but then to follow it up with a few days, maybe another further week of an acetic acid spray, which just helps the ear to just regain a bit of that natural acidity to help defend itself. And obviously I've suggested stop swimming for the time of the treatment, to maybe get some custom fitted ear moulds to prevent any water going in. But hoping all that works anyway. Anyway, this second one here, whilst I've been rambling on about the other one, just to satisfy this, took a bit longer, this did. As you can see, it's I suspect it's been oiled to within an inch of its life. I don't know what the particular patient has used in this ear. It's a particularly aggressive, possibly water-based drop. It's quite possible, but it is really wet and soggy. It just doesn't stay together. I've had to go back to the fining tube for these other bits, a bit more delicate. Not going to get every spec, but as long as we can clear the blockage and get as much as we can safely get away, that's the main aim. Always is the main aim. You don't want to leave anybody with a spotless ear, really, because you do need a little bit in there, believe it or not. So before I get shouted at for forgetting to do it, I will get out dad jokes of the day, because I know you all enjoy this, but the majority of you do anyway. And as you know, I've got a new book since my last episode. I still don't know who it's from, but I only recorded the video saying I've got a new book. The video just before this, I actually did just before this one, so it's not even been released yet. But if it is you, let me know, and thank you. They were really good, the ones that I saw that we did in last time's video. So let's have a few from this one, shall we? And if you're wondering why we're doing this, I'm like, well, there's only so much you can say about earwax before I start repeating myself. And laughter is the best medicine for everything, isn't it? So it cheers everybody up, particularly me, and I don't bore myself going on and on and on and on and on about the same things all the time. So that's why we do daily dad joke of the day, and here's today's. I grew facial hair without telling anyone. It's my secret stash. Oh, terrible. I went to the bar with a boxer, but it's just a lightweight.
Well, we can already see your ear.
My dad said, I've heard this one before, it's a good one. My dad said I always loved alphabet soup when I was young. If you've not had alphabet soup, or I think it's called alphabet spaghetti, you can get it over here. It's basically like pasta shapes in letters that are in a soup, like, or a tomato sauce, like you get with beans. And so anyway, my dad said I loved alphabet soup when I was young, but it was just him putting words in my mouth. No bragging, but I made 6 figures last year, so they named me the worst employee at the toy factory. I took the shell off my racing snail, thinking it would make him go faster, but instead he's now more sluggish. Wah, wah, wah. Terrible. Where do naughty rainbows go? Prism. That's very clever. What would an unhappy Scandinavian say? I wish I was never born. 2 more, I promise. These are too good not to carry on, though. I just said no comment all the way through the police interview. Didn't get the job. Right, last one. I'm going to make sure it's a good one, so I'm going to have a look through them. Nope, not that one. There we go. The instructor in my self-defense class said that the most effective place to kick a man is near his knees. Personally, I think it's nuts. I would have to agree, being one as well. If any of you ladies having someone mithering you, that's always the best place to go. Trust me on this. Anyway, I think we're very near the end of this. This was the second ear. Not quite as soupy, so to speak, as the other one, but no less satisfying, but a bit easier. It wasn't fully blocked. As you probably saw, could already see a little bit of the eardrum as we were just about entering, just over the top of that, and another slurpy, slimy, lovely one. Lots of nice noises in this, which you probably can't hear because I've been rambling on. What I am going to do, maybe in the next video, I'm going to share with you some members' videos, which are videos that don't have me in them, but they're completely unedited, so you can hear both me and the patient chatting, and you can hear the noises as well. And I wanted to share with you just to see what those are like, and if that makes you want to join, then great. If not, no worries. You still carry on getting me waffling on at you. But I'll maybe share that in the next video. When I remove this, and then you go back in to look at it and think, it must be it now. And then you see one like this, you're like, oh no, your heart sinks a little. But thankfully, as you can see, came out very nicely indeed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. had a good giggle, as did I. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Try.